So we studied about Arjun's question, and Arjun is asking the difference between renunciation and sannyas. And Krishna describes that everything is in the three modes of material nature. He defines what is renunciation, what is sannyas. Renunciation is giving up the fruits of an activity. Sannyas is not acting for any material desire. And then he describes about the different kinds of duties. What is duties or sannyas, or I'm sorry, renunciation in mode of passion, mode of ignorance, and mode of goodness. And then he talks about the duty in the three modes. What else did we study last week? Then he talked about, did we talk about the 5 factors of action?
No, Mataji, not yet.
So we'll talk about the 5 factors of action, and then we'll probably see, then how all these, there are 3 modes of material nature impact everything. I don't know why, okay. I should be able to escape. Yeah. We studied the renunciation. We studied, did we study this? Where, till what verse did we study? I need to know.
I think we finished till, yes, Mataji.
16,
15, 15, I think, Mataji. 15th slide.
Okay, thank you. So now Krishna is going to tell about the 5 factors of action from verse 13 to verse 17. The reason why he tells is that because one needs to know that the modes of material nature are acting at what level, and then one has to reach to the level of the relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be able to transcend the modes of material nature. Remember, I told you, my friend tells Satchidi Shakti that if you want to transcend something, you need to know what you're transcending, so to look at it, what you're transcending. So Krishna is going to talk about the 5 factors of action. So the 5 factors of action that he talks about are, does anyone know? Adhishthanam, Karta, Karanam, Cheshta, Devam. 5 factors of action. Adhishthanam, the place of action or the body of the jiva. Karta, or the doer. Right? Karanam, or various senses or instruments of action. Cheshta, or endeavor. And Devam. Devam is the super soul. So Mighty and Arjun, learn from me of the 5 factors which bring about the accomplishment of all actions. These are declared in Sankhya philosophy to be place of action, performer, senses, endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. This is Namnish Prabhu's slide. So, in case somebody has to make a temple, okay, so then there's got to be a place of action, right? Land, and then there's got to be a doer, which is a jiva. And the jiva needs to have the instruments of action, which are senses, 3, okay? And then there's got to be an endeavor to make such buildings. And then ultimately it has to be sanctioned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If Krishna, what is the most important factor here? What is the most important factor out of the place of action, the doer, the senses, the endeavor, and the super soul? What is most important? Hare Krishna, everyone else who joined just now. What is most important?
Super soul,
The super
Mataji,
soul.
Yeah.
the sanction
So
of the Lord.
actually in 11th canto Bhagavatam, there is a conversation between Uddhav and Krishna, right? I think we spoke about it. That Uddhav is asking Krishna, that Krishna, at a particular scenario, there are so many opinions. There's so many opinions, right? Everybody have their opinion about a particular scenario. Which opinion is right? Uddhav asks this question to Krishna, which opinion is right? So Krishna says, all of them are right because it is according to their own perception. But what prevails, what the verdict is going to be, is what Krishna wants. This is not a question about right or wrong, because why will somebody behave in a way if they don't, if they can't justify their behavior? So that's the rule of thumb. Okay, so 5 factors of action are these. And then he talks about whatever wrong or right action a man performs by body, mind, or speech is caused by these 5 factors. So next time, whenever there is a worry of taking an exam or taking up a very scary or very big project or whatever, we have so many times this fear of getting into something, right? That, oh my God, this looks like so big. So understand that I am only 1/5 of it, part of it. So there are 4 other things happening here. So Jiva as me is only 1/5. Okay, and then it says Tatraivam sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tu yaha pashyati akrita buddhivan nasa pashyati durmataha. Okay, so whoever is intelligent, one who thinks, the only doer, not considering 5 factors, certainly not very intelligent and cannot see the things as they are. So he's basically slashing the doership mentality. Basically, when I read this verse, you can share what you felt, but when I felt, I think the Nobel Prizes were going to be announced first time when I read or something like that many years ago. So I said that then it's a very, very like shallow recognition of a person because 5 factors have to be given the prize, right? And they're not just one factor, Jiva, 5 factors. Because then what happens is if we not recognize in the doership mentality, it becomes very big. It becomes like an elephant in the room. But that's not the fact. Krishna is saying there are 5 factors.
There are 5 factors.
And not just
And not just
one particular jiva doing everything. Okay, so next time, this is a very good, try and practice this. If there is a very difficult conversation, very difficult project, very difficult, difficulty in life in general, then understand that I'm only 1/5 of it. So both right or wrong, both of them are performed by this. Super soul, all our activities depend on his sanction. Soul is the doer, endeavor for our effort, senses, and a place of action of the body. Wrong action, what is the wrong action according to Bhagavad-gita? Which are demoniac or irreligious or not according to the codes of the scriptural injunction. We are reading this nowadays in Srimad Bhagavatam, the description of hellish planets, for last chapter on 5th canto, 26th chapter. So Dev Goswami says, so here Krishna describes about faith in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance, right? There Sukdev Goswami says that one who does not act according to the codes of Vedic or scriptural injunction actually goes to a hell. And I don't remember the particular name of the hell, but actually goes to a particular kind of a hell and suffers there. It's so dangerous, huh? Atheism. He says there are 3 levels of hell: mild level, intermediate level, and severe level. So, what are the 3 differentiating factor? Who goes what? What is the foundation? The foundation is if a wrong act is done in the madness, then the severity of punishment is mild. But if it is done with knowing that I should not be doing this, but I still do it, then the severity is intermediate. But if one is acting out of atheism, then the severity is extreme. So basically, acting in irreligious principles, irreligious principle means not doing anything anything on the basis of the scriptural injunctions makes one eligible in the eyes of Yamaraj to go to a severe most level of hell. And the punishment are very, very hard. Like we read in the morning, India time morning, today was if somebody is envious and inflicts pain on other living entities, then they go to a hell called Raurava, where all the living entities who have been inflicted pain by them come in the form of animals and actually eat the flesh of that particular subtle body, flesh of the subtle body of a particular conditioned soul. But the soul, it doesn't die, okay? It has to be alive. It does to see what's happening. So it's so hard. So irreligious principle. We have to be very, very careful. Right actions, work done in terms of prescribed scriptural directions. Then we are actually in alignment with all the 5 principles. So again, Okay, sorry. Again, where is the 18th verse? 19th पे क्यों आ गए? Did I discuss? I'm sorry. I'm getting confused. I apologize. I should have checked the slides before bringing it in. 18th verse. Just one second. Let me just another one. Just another version because 18th verse is also very important. नहीं है. So these are the 5 factors of action. Okay. And then the 3 motivators of action. Maybe we can bring up the verse in Veda base. Can you open? I'll open Veda base. The 3 motivators of action. So these are 5 factors of action. Does anyone know what are the 3 motivators of action? And what is the difference between 5 factors and 3 motivators? So I'll read. Knowledge, object of knowledge, knower are the 3 factors that motivate action. Senses, work, doer are the 3 constituents of action. What is the difference? Who can explain this verse? I think we want to discuss that anger thing today. If you're not going to participate, then the time will seep into that particular portion. What are the 3 factors? Who can explain this verse? 3 factors that motivate an action and then 3 constituents of action. What does it mean? Okay, I'm going to choose who's going to say. Shiva Srinivas Prabhu, can you explain a little bit, please?
Yes, Mataji. Like in the previous example, you have shown that where we need a place of construction, a temple. Similarly, like the basic knowledge should be there, like what to construct and how to construct.
Mm.
So, and the object of knowledge. The object of knowledge is the what do you say? The temple construction. That is the object.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So motivation is happening because wherever we act with the gross body and subtle body, right? So motivate action means that the work is actually already done in the subtle body before it actually manifests outside. For example, if you have to travel, the plan is done, right? In the mind that I'm going to leave at this time, I'm going to commute by this particular way, and then I'm going to, wear this tomorrow, I'll take this food, then I will travel there and I'll finish that work and then I'll come back. So before the action actually happens, is it not done in the subtle level? Yes. So everything is coming from Krishna. Okay. So the knowledge, object of knowledge and knower. So that's what. So knowledge. So where I'm going. Object of knowledge. What is the job that needs to be accomplished? Or the travel plan itself, in the example I gave, is the object of knowledge, and knower, which is me, motivate action. Or if somebody is going to build a house or builds like Nikhil Prabhu's community is building this temple, then there is a brainstorming sessions, right? That how do you want this? And then based on what you tell the architect brings up the design, and then you revise the design because it doesn't suit the mind and the subtle level, that you cannot visualize like that. Yeah, there are so many modifications that happen at the subtle level. So those are the things that motivate, and after that paper is passed, the construction starts. But even before the blueprint comes into existence, the thing is already there in the consciousness. And then the constituents of that action is the senses, the work, and the doer. The senses, like I'm thinking with my mind, I'm planning with my hands, like my example of travel. The work that I have to do this work, I have to travel, and the doer, I, constituents are the 3 constituents of action. Now, in 3 levels of 3 levels of action, where the 5 factors are involved, or 3 factors that motivate action are involved, or 3 constituents of action are involved, what is the common denominator? What is the common denominator?
Doer.
Huh?
Karta.
Doer.
Correct. Doer or jiva. Okay. So we have a role to play. Okay. We have a role to play. So Krishna is emphasizing it again and again. That cannot say, okay, God will do everything for me, because then that's not how it is working in the real platform. Because have you ever said, okay, I'm just gonna sit hand on hand and God will do everything for me? But that's not how it is. So Krishna consciousness is actually an activity. There's got to be an activity. I have to take responsibility of where I'm gonna go. Because if I don't do the work, which we are not gonna study, when Krishna is now going to jump into, I'll go a little fast with these slides now, 19 to 40. Jump into different aspects of how modes of nature are acting and forcing us to work in a particular fashion. Okay, let me do this and then I'll tell that definitely mode of goodness is superior to passion ignorance. I think we unanimously agree with that, right? But is that the best? Is that the best of best? And then there's nothing more than that? No. What is the problem with mode of goodness? What is the problem with mode of goodness? Dick. What is the problem with mode of goodness? Activity in the mode of goodness. What is the problem?
Mataji, Hare Krishna. We can get used to that kind of a feeling that we know everything and we are, performing some kind of austerity. And again, that will also bind us, Mataji. So that's why Krishna is saying, don't get stuck there. We definitely need to rise above this platform.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, the happiness is a problem. The person in the mode of goodness feels happy, and that happiness is a problem. Because we don't feel a need to actually do anything better than that, because the whole gameplay of the life was to become happy. So it can actually bind. You see, the subtle clutches of Maya are so strong. Because one is definitely more happy. Okay, he says knowledge, which is based on the three modes of material nature. I think we should teach this course in universities. You're going to enter this particular curriculum and you're going to be taking up these courses, but the foundation is how are you going to enter? So knowledge, which is undivided, by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all existence. Undivided and divided is knowledge in the mode of goodness. I want all of you, I'm going to choose who's going to explain this. So every verse you're going to explain. One line. Passion, the mode of goodness, a mode of passion, knowledge in the mode of passion, by which a different type of living entity is seen to be dwelling in different bodies, is knowledge in the mode of passion. And then mode of ignorance, by the knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as all in all without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness. Nikhil Prabhu, can you explain? What are the three? One-liner.
Difference between the the three modes, the work done in three modes.
Knowledge. We're talking
Knowledge
about
in
knowledge,
goodness,
right?
knowledge in passion, and knowledge in ignorance.
What does it mean? The undivided spiritual nature is seen in all existence, undivided in the divided. What does it mean?
Mataji, I couldn't understand the question completely.
I'm saying reverse number 20. What does it mean?
Okay. We are talking here, Krishna talking here about knowledge in goodness, the knowledge in which that the undivided spiritual nature, is seen in all the living entities, though they are divided in innumerable forms.
So basically, you're looking at the soul, not the body. The person in the
Always.
mode of goodness is looking at the soul and not the body, right? Undivided spiritual nature. Now, a person in the mode of passion is looking at what?
In that, one sees different, in every different body, there is every different type of living entity.
Mm.
You know, the concept that the material body is the living entity, and with the destruction of the body, the consciousness is also destroyed. That is the
Yeah.
concept there.
Okay. Mode of ignorance.
In the ignorance, it's when we are attached to one type of work, and in all, like,
Okay.
and we don't
So,
know.
okay. Thank you. So, verse 20, one does not see the body, one sees the soul. Passion, one sees different bodies. Doesn't see the soul, but sees different body, American body, Indian body, or German body, or African body, Japanese body, Chinese body, Korean body. Right? One sees Malaysian body. Like one does not see the soul, but sees different bodies. Okay, but in mode of ignorance, one only sees one's own body. For to keep sake one's own body, one can do anything. That's mode of ignorance. That I need to be the best. So imagine having a leader of a country in mode of ignorance who sees only its own body. According to this is the mode of darkness, is darkness. All right, action, which are based on the modes of material nature. So action in the mode of goodness is in accordance with duty, performed without attachment, without love or hatred, by one who has renounced fruity results, is action in the mode of goodness. Action in mode of passion is performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his senses, which is enacted from sense of false ego. And in the mode of ignorance, there is an action. Action performed in ignorance and delusion without consideration of future bondage or consequences, which inflicts injury, is impractical, is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Andrea Mataji, can you explain? One-liner.
Mataji, I'm babysitting. You hear
Okay.
the crying. Okay, so action in the mode of goodness is one one who has the knowledge and is having the knowledge. He performs the action. That is why there is no attachment. He does it as a duty.
Okay. What about mode of passion?
Mode of passion is it is a fruitive. They are attached to the fruits, and that is mode of passion. The action is performed with some intent in mind that I want this, I don't want that.
Yeah. Very nice. Thank
Okay.
you. So the basic is in the mode of goodness, action is prompted by the sense of duty. In the mode of passion, the action is prompted by desire. In ignorance, the action is prompted by delusion. Okay, so the 3 Ds. So duty, desire, delusion. What is prompting one to act in particular way? Okay, so we can see ourselves whenever we are going to act. Am I acting out of the sense of duty? Or am I acting out of the sense of fulfilling my desire? Or am I acting because I'm in delusion? When I'm in delusion, I will not be able to see. But these are the things. Now, Krishna talks about 3 kinds of workers. So far we discussed the knowledge, then we discussed the action, and now who's going to do that work? 3 kinds of workers based on the material modes of nature. Worker who is free from all material attachment and false ego, who is enthusiastic and resolute, is not indifferent, who is indifferent to success or failure, is in the mode of goodness. But that worker who is attached to fruits of his labor, passionately wants to enjoy them, greedy, envious, impure, moved by happiness and distress, is a worker in the mode of passion. And that worker who is always engaged in work against the injunction of the scriptures, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, expert in insulting others, lazy, always morose and procrastinating. Oh my God. Is a worker in the mode of ignorance, morose and procrastinating. In 6th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a book called Second Chance. Have you read that book as the Second Chance or a Second Chance? So it's a very nice book. It's on Ajamil's pastime. Prabhupada writes that procrastination is in the mode of one procrastinates is in the mode of ignorance. So it's I know what I have to do, but I'll not do it. So that's more of ignorance, actually. So the question may be raised that I know that I don't want to be in the mode of ignorance, but I'm still attacked by the mode of ignorance. What is the reason? You know what is the basic reason? I was reading it yesterday. The basic reason is I know I don't want to be attacked by ignorance, but I still get attacked. Oh, Prabhupada also said in that particular chapter I read, what is the definition of a conditioned soul? There's so many definitions given across the Shastras. In that particular chapter, Prabhupada writes, the definition of a conditioned soul is that it is always lamenting. Always lamenting. So I was like, the Prabhupada is saying, always lamenting. So if I'm always lamenting, then I'm like completely conditioned. So what is the basic foundation? Who can explain? Kirti Mataji? Workers? What is the motivation of a worker in mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance?
Mataji, I think the first worker who's in the mode of passion, he is mode of goodness. He's detached. Basically, he's detached, and the one who's in passion, Mataji, he likes to enjoy the results of the actions, the desires that he has, and he's attached to the kind of work. And the one in ignorance, I think he's, of course, he's completely against the scriptures, Mataji. So that is why those kind of laziness and procrastinating nature, they all arise from it.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you. So the mode of goodness, the motivation to act is that I need to act because it is the right thing to do. The scriptural injunctions, the right, and definition of right is based on Bhagavadgita. That this is according to the scriptural injunctions. Then in the mode of passion, the individual is acting or the worker is acting because it will write me benefits. Okay. And then in the mode of ignorance, the person is acting. I don't even know what to make out of this. Like expert in insulting other, lazy, materialistic, obstinate. Because I don't know. What be the one word? One word for a person in mode of ignorance. Mode of goodness is right. And mode of passion is ripe. What will be mode of ignorance? I'm making it up as I'm talking. What will be mode of ignorance? Right, ripe. And then against the mode against the scriptures, injunction of the scriptures. Our
Shiva
second
Srinivas Prabhu said rotten.
rotten. Okay, let's take it. Rotten. Okay. Right, ripe, rotten. So it'll write me, it is the right thing to do. And then this will give me the benefit. And then this is like, do it, not nobody gets benefited. Even the doer doesn't get benefited, or the person receiving that action, the work done is also not benefited. This is not enough, huh? Krishna is not stopping now. Krishna has gone into that whirlwind. 3 kinds of intelligence in the mode of material nature. So intelligence in the mode of goodness, O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows what ought to be done, what ought not to be done, what is to be feared, what is not to be feared, what is binding, what is liberating. So this discrimination, you see, and the intelligence, the function of intelligence is discrimination. The function of mind is thinking, feeling, willing. The function of soul is happiness, right? Srimad Bhagavatam explains it. So here, discriminating about what ought to be done, what ought not to be done, what is to be feared, what is not to be feared, what is binding, what is liberating. So that understanding, which cannot distinguish between religious way of life and irreligious, between action that should be done and action that should not be done. That imperfect understanding, or sanapritha, is in the mode of passion. Understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness and strives always in wrong direction is in the mode of ignorance. कौन रह गया explain करने के लिए? Ambika Mataji, are you able to say?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hi Krishna. One liner.
In the mode of goodness, the person goes according to the direction of the scriptures. He always knows what is right to be done. And in the mode of passion, he has an imperfect understanding. He doesn't know what should be done. He doesn't know what is right and what is wrong. In the mode of ignorance, he's always in the wrong direction. He's going against the scriptures.
Correct. So, yes, thank you. So, mode of goodness, one is able to intelligently discriminate. What do we make? 3 words. Make 3 words. What is to be done, what is not to be done. Intellect, intelligently intelligent. 2 words okay. Intelligently intelligent, and then mode of passion be unintelligently intelligent, and mode of ignorance, no intelligence. Cannot differentiate at all. Shiva Srinivas Prabhu, you are good at it. Tell us.
Like ignorant, he cannot. What you said is same. Like no intelligence. Even intelligence cannot be used.
Yeah. So, okay. So, mode of goodness, ye theek hai, intelligently intelligent. And
Yes,
then
Mataji.
mode of passion is unintelligently intelligent. There is intelligent, but it's unintelligent. Mode of ignorance is no intelligence, no discriminating power at all. So we can see where we are. Always strives in the wrong direction, under the spell of illusion and darkness. Cannot understand. Imagine having leaderships in these positions with these modes. You know, I don't know if this is a thing in India or Canada, but in America, there is no retake of a driving test, but there is a retake of a driving test exam, like a paper exam after the age of 55. People who are 55 and above. So they have to retake an exam. So I was like, okay, so be able to drive on the road, one needs to do that. So I was thinking, when somebody has to come to the position of a leadership, any level, whether at home or at their own work or with their own community or state or country or internationally, whatever it is, one needs to get screened through what mode is more prominent in your personality. And it has to be like a work in progress, continuing mode evaluation. We have, like, in medicine, you have continuing medical education, like CME. Is, I think, continuing mode evaluation, CMO. Yeah, CME, mode evaluation. Or the Apple Watch, or if we can develop that app that actually pops up that what mode is prominent in you right now, calm down. Oh, the other day, my resident was showing in the hospital that it was 9 a.m. She said the watch is prompting up that the stress level is high. So, so the 9 a.m. like her stress level is high, it's prompting up. So, but you know what? We can do all this. Okay, one devotee told us, it's so hilarious. We can do all this. We can decorate all our walls with Krishna's paintings, but we can still be not Krishna conscious. How? Because wherever you see Krishna's pastimes in your house, or photos or paintings. Then how come you're not Krishna conscious? How come you're not remembering? Because the minute you look at the photo or the painting, you'll think of Krishna, hai na? So I asked this question, how come if your house is filled with it? So he said, because we'll stop looking at the walls. Stop looking at the walls. We stop looking at the walls. The modes are so powerful that it has an ability to take our focus out from this. We keep looking at our phone. Okay, so mode of intelligently intelligent, unintelligently intelligent, and no intelligence. So determination in the modes of modes of nature. So far, what did we study? We studied knowledge, we studied doer, we studied intelligence. What else we studied? Worker. Okay, so now this is the fifth one. Determinations based on the mode of nature. So, Osana Prita, that determination which is unbreakable, sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice. Thus control the mind, life, and acts of the senses is in the mode of goodness. Determination by which one holds fast to fruitive result in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of the nature of passion. Yeah. And that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion. Such unintelligent determination is in the mode of darkness. So just see, I asked this question a few minutes ago, right? That I don't want to be in the mode of ignorance, but mode of ignorance still attacks me. How come? The answer is here. How come? How come I don't want to be in the mode of ignorance? And I can be in the mode of ignorance at any level. Knowledge, determination, intelligence, doer, renunciation. Because my sadhana is not steadfast. Basically, it actually draws down to that particular one reason. Because my personal sadhana or my personal practice of Krishna consciousness is weak. That is why the determination is weak. This is the Krishna is giving the answer here. Unbreakable determination. Unbreakable and sustained with steadfastness. In mode of passion, it is also unbreakable. It holds fast, but it is sustained by one's own sense gratification. So here sustained by steadfastness, and here it is sustained by sense gratification. And over here, that is also unbreakable because it is not going beyond, right? It is not going beyond. Krishna is saying it cannot go beyond, but it is sustained by, give me a word with S. Sustained by what? S, sleep or what? So three, that both are, because determination means I'm determined. So interesting, huh? So I am determined to be fearful. I am not going to become fearless. I am determined that I'm going to lead my life lamenting. I am determined that I'm going to hold on to the illusion that I am this body. And I am determined that I'm going to live this body, live this life, which is considered to be like a bubble in an ocean, or what is it, a dream, and then we forget about it. Like next life, we'll not remember what it is right now, right? Dream. So it is that it is determination. So it is steadfast. It is unbreakable, but it is sustained by what? Sleep. So unbreakable, goodness may unbreakable, but it is sustained by steadfastness of yoga practices, sustained by yoga. Determination in passion is also unbreakable, but it is sustained by sense gratification. So ignorance is also unbreakable determination, but it is sustained by
Sleep.
that's what I'm saying. Sleep. Okay, we can use the word sleep. Chalo. Sleep. Sleep, but it has to encounter all this, that I'm not going to wake up. I am going to be fearful because and I'm going to find reasons, huh? I'm going to feed my determination that this world is horrible and I'm going to be fearful all the time. Or there is nothing good that comes out of it. Or what a loss I have had in my life. I'm just going to keep on feeding my consciousness with the moroseness. Okay, now that determination, three kinds of happiness in the mode of material nature. So the happiness, which is in the beginning maybe just like poison, but the end is like nectar, which awakens one to self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. Happiness, which is derived from contact of senses with their objects and which appears like nectar at first but poison at end, is said to be in the nature of passion. Happiness, which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be of the nature of ignorance. So happiness in goodness is poison in the beginning, nectar in the end. Passion is nectar in the beginning, poison in the end. And ignorance is poison in the beginning, poison in the end. You really, like, people sleep so many hours, like 12 hours, 20 hours a day. how can they go on doing if it doesn't make them happy? Not possible, right? So they're happy in sleeping. Oh my God. Can you be happy in just sleeping, like sleeping, sleeping, sleeping? So so poison in the beginning, nectar in the end. And then nectar in the beginning, poison in the end. So just be aware that if something is giving me so much happiness in the beginning, maybe I'm in the mode of passion and become cautious. Not like cheerophobia, that's different, like fear of happiness. But awareness is like, am I actually in the mode of goodness, passion? Ignorance is poison, poison. In the beginning, poison at the end. That is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, what is this? Jiva jago, Gora Chan bole. What is the other line? Jiva jago, Gora Chan bole. Pashate maya tare, chapatiya bole. So, living entity, get up, get up, get up. Gora Chand is calling you. How long are you going to sleep in the lap of a pisacha or witch called Maya? And there's a very nice discussion in that why is witch considered Maya? Why is Maya compared to a witch? By different commentators. Anyway, so this is Krishna. I'm going to read till here today. So, what did Krishna describe so far? Krishna describes knowledge in 3 modes. And then he described the work in the 3 modes. And then he describes the determination in 3 modes, the happiness in 3 modes, the intelligence in 3 modes. Did I say work in 3 modes? Let's see. Knowledge, work, worker,
Knowledge, action,
intelligence.
work, understanding, determination, and then happiness.
I have knowledge, work, worker, intelligence, determination. I have 5. Am I wrong? You can go back and see.
Action also, no, Mataji?
Yeah,
I think
worker.
work and action we are mixing, right?
Worker or karta is action. Let's see. 3, knowledge. Okay, knowledge. And then action. Okay, number 2.
Action.
Number 3, worker.
Worker.
Number 4, intelligence. Number 5.
Understanding.
Determination.
Understanding in passion, understanding in ignorance.
Intelligence हो गया ना, the heading is intelligence.
ठीक है.
And then determination. And then happiness. So 6.
6.
Okay, so what are they? Knowledge, action, worker, intelligence. This is number 4. Number 5 is determination. Number 6 is happiness. And again, to reiterate, what did we discuss about the knowledge? The one sees what is the knowledge in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance is. In goodness, one sees soul, does not see the body. In passion, one sees different kinds of bodies, does not see the soul. In ignorance, one sees only one's own body, does not see the soul again. And then in mode of what is this? Actions. In the mode of goodness is acting out of the motivating factor is duty. In mode of passion, the motivating factor is desire, and in ignorance, the motivating factor is delusion. Worker mode of goodness is that it is the right thing to do, which is following the Vedic scriptures. Passion is reaping the benefits, and ignorance is, I think Shiva Srinivas Prabhu said, rotten. Then intelligence, and intelligently intelligent is goodness, and unintelligently intelligent is passion. No intelligence is ignorance. Determination, all 3 are unbreakable, but in goodness it is sustained by yoga practice, and in passion the determination is sustained by desire, and in mode of goodness and in ignorance it is sustained by sleep. Happiness, poison in the beginning, nectar at the end. There is goodness. Nectar in the beginning and poison at the end is passion. And poison in the beginning and poison at the end is ignorance. So Krishna concludes that Natat asti prithvayam va divi deveshu va punaha satvam prakriti jair muktam yad ebhe syatri bhir gunehe. There is no being existing either here or among demigods in the high planetary system which is freed from these three modes born of material nature. So Krishna is concluding that he did not mention before that the mode of all the three gunas, guna is, the word of the guna is also rope, right? Are actually binding everybody from above to down. So why is he saying that? What is the reason? Arjun is standing in the war field, ready to deciding whether I should fight, I should not fight. So what is making Krishna say that nobody's free? How will Arjun care least about what Indra is or what Brahma is? It's like, we often read Srimad Bhagavatam and Sukdev Goswami is describing the universal structure in fifth canto. I understood nothing, or maybe very little. The upper planetary system, and then subterranean heavenly planets, and now the hellish planet. The reality of the fact is that the listener is going to die in 7 days. So when I'm going to die, do I want to understand what is the lifestyle of Indra, or how beautiful the ladies are in the heavenly planets, or how horrible the hellish planets, how somebody's going to die, explain them how horrible the hell is. So why? But there's a reason.
So that we don't aspire for.
Very nice. Correct. Because he wants to cut the knot. Because guna, the other meaning of the word is rope. So the ropes that bind us. Okay. Krishna told Arjun that Arjun gave one of the reasons to not fight is no happiness, right? What is going to be the happiness? My family members are going to die. I'm going to win this kingdom. Who's going to be there? Like in Hindi, there is a saying, जैसे जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने देखा? Okay, I have this. What is going to be the fun? I have nobody to show it to. But Krishna answers that. What does Krishna say? What is the answer for concern about happiness? No happiness. What does he say? Yeah, we are in 18th chapter. Why will we remember first chapter? We are not at that level. Huh?
Hare Krishna Mataji, even if you lose, you will attain the heavenly planet. And if you win, you can enjoy in this material world. You can rule this kingdom.
Correct.
So anyway, there is happiness.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so proud of you. This is the discriminating liking towards a particular person because they took efforts to remember what we studied in first chapter a year ago. Okay, so yes, Krishna says that if you win the war, you're going to enjoy the whole earthly planet. And if you lose it, then you're going to go to heavenly planet. Either way, there's enjoyment. But here he's saying that everybody is in all the modes. So basically, he's uplifting. You see, there's a progression. Okay, so meeting someone where they are is good enough to start. This is a preaching point, but we should not get stuck there. Both the preacher and the person who's preached have to move. There's got to be a movement towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead, towards something else. Now, Krishna says, okay, don't aspire. So basically what he's trying to do is purify, right? That, okay, act, but act because I'm telling you to act. Not because you're going to enjoy the earthly planet or you're going to go to the heavenly planets. Act because that is a safe place to act. Okay, so that could be one of the take-home points. So next time we have a problem, and you have it every day. We have it every day, right? What decision to make. The other day, I don't know if I should be sharing this, but I'll just say that other day I was working in the night in the hospital, and there was this child who came in cardiac arrest, okay? And I'm like supposed to make decision, right? I'm supposed to make a decision. I was like there, like, and then when we ended the whole thing, I was sitting down and thinking that so far we think that making a decision like where to go here or not, or there are difficult decisions. I'm not saying that they're difficult, very difficult decisions, but so far, by far, this is the most difficult decision, right? Whether to call off the code and let the soul leave the body, or whether to continue doing the resuscitation. This is by far the most difficult decision that you can ever make. I think it was so I said modes of nature are like very, very binding. It actually compromises and impacts us in every level. Okay, I think I'll stop here. Any questions, reflections, realizations, or corrections? And Krishna is gonna, tell us what is binding, but then from next time onward, he's also going to tell us what is liberating. What can we do right now in the form of Varnashram Dharma? I will try to. I think we need 4 classes, है ना? So stop recording first.